we have been working on the crane section of the 108. Now, we have also been working on the crane section of 108 in the class before this one in black test training of the advanced class. So, we're going to kind of run through the set. We've been doing the first two sections that repeat, right? So there's one section that repeats on both sides, and then we started that second section. So we're going to start there at, let's see. Oh, sorry, let's do what we've done, and then we'll start the next round at what we're going to cover today. So, teacher, stand.
Yes, sir.
Stand tall.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to do our 5-animal salute. Remember, you got that forward with the right foot, and then again with the left. Step back. 2 tigers have the trail. And we're going to start from return horse to the stable. Descending, 1 finger. Step back and crane lean. Fist through the sleeve. Hard and soft. Crane walking. Descending arm, hand, and waist. 1 finger, ask a question. Crane wing punching. Fist to the sleeve. Here we go. A crane, pivot the foot in, pecking. Revive the crane. Flying crane. Hungry crane, stand on 1 leg. Hungry crane, capture shrimp. Now on the other side, same moves. Flying crane. Hungry crane stands on 1 leg. Hungry crane, capture shrimp. Crane's head punching. Switch, defeat, crane's head punching. Dragon, whips its tail. Cross in front, 8. There you go. And then unwind. Monk, sun's course. Tame the tiger, shoot the tiger. 5-animal salute.
5-animal salute.
2 tigers have the trail.
2 tigers have the trail.
Pretty easy, right? Kind of short. So now what we're going to do is just that section that I really want to cover. So we've done the hard and soft crane walking all the way to the fist through the sleeves on both sides. So now we're going to do that same. We're going to do that same thing with the next couple sections. So we're going to do our crane pecking, revive the crane, flying crane, all the way through hungry crane, capture shrimp. Okay? Stand.
Yes, sir.
Stand tall.
Yes, sir.
So from our last repeated motion, here's 2 repeat motion. 1, crane, inside block. Crane, inside block. Lift, flying crane. Hungry crane stands on 1 leg. Reach back, hungry crane. Capture shrimp. Flying crane. Hungry crane stands on 1 leg. Hungry crane. Capture shrimp. And we'll stop there. Feet together.
Yes, sir.
Reset.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Follow Apprentice Instructor Kelly 1 time through those same motions.
Start with fist through the sleeve. A crane, pecking. Revive the crane. Flying crane. Hungry crane stands on 1 leg. Hungry crane. Capture shrimp. Flying crane. Hungry crane stands on 1 leg. Hungry crane. Capture shrimp. Feet together.
Very good. Now, one of the details that we focused on and emphasized today in the early class was, the early advanced class, sorry, was the hooking of the foot. So when we strike our foot, or when you see us or hear us striking our foot, we're not just popping the leg or the shoe, we're clearing the foot, right? So the application is if someone had grabbed your foot from a kick. Best practices are, in a real life situation, to bend your knee. Don't leave your leg out straight, especially if they're trying to run away with it. So the best thing you can do is bend your knee in closer to you, grab their hand and push on their face. But in this instance, we grab their hand, push down on the ground with our leg and punch them in the groin. So that, with with that application in mind, you want to make sure you get a good pop and hook on their arm, otherwise it'll be ineffective. So that's why we wind up the opposite direction. When you twist the body the opposite direction, it naturally wants to correct. So if I sat in a chair and twisted around this way, I wouldn't want to sit like this the whole time, right? I'm engaging muscles to do this. To relax, my body naturally wants to come back here. So when I lift my foot and I twist into that awkward position, it adds momentum so that I have to do less work to get that power in that hand. So we're going to twist, hook, push, and press. So if the foot looks straight at any point, it's not because you kicked out really straight and really pretty, it's because you hooked and pushed down, okay? So hook across the foot, be sure to clear across the foot. If you can, do your best to get your toes to brush your wrist. That's how you know your hand got hooked behind the target, okay? So let's give it a try.
Yes, sir.
Stand.
Yes, sir.
Stand tall.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to start from fist like an arrow, fist to the sleeve. We're going to do our crane inside block and pivot. Inside block and pivot. Step and open. Lift. Reach back and wipe. Press and up. Lift. Here. Reach back and over the top. Boom. Up. Feet together.
Yes, sir.
Okay, try that move on your own for a minute or two. Get that, make sure you're clearing the foot. Take your time. If you really want to reach back and make sure you're flinging the foot up forward, that's okay too. But take your time, make sure it's correct.
Yes, sir. Now I want shrimp. I just realized there was a mask on that one guy.
Yeah, I don't even know who put this there. Who did it? I have no idea.
I said, "River, you took off that shirt one day." I know the perfect person to wear it.
Let's run it once or twice or more. And 8 when you do it once. Do what you did. Yes, just from there. Fist like an arrow. Or fist to the sleeve.
Always used to say the wrong thing.
Yeah, arrows and dragon.
Alright, we're gonna start from fist through the sleeve.
Down, lower.
Up crane, pecking. Revive the crane. Flying crane. Hungry crane stands on one leg. Hungry crane. Capture shrimp. Flying crane. Hungry crane stands on one leg. Hungry crane. Capture shrimp. Feet together. A crane pecking. Revive the crane. Revive the crane. Flying crane. Flying crane. Hungry crane stands on one leg. Hungry crane stands on one leg. Hungry crane. Capture shrimp. Hungry crane. Capture shrimp. Flying crane. Flying crane. Hungry crane stands on one leg. Hungry crane stands on one leg. Hungry crane. Capture shrimp. Hungry crane. Capture shrimp.
Keep your back knee bent on that one. before we bow out completely, there's one thing that I want to emphasize, and that is the blocking, the inside block. When we do our crane inside block, and where that hand ends. So when we do it in basic training, it kind of ends in the armpit, right? And it kind of stays in that hooked position. Now, practically, it makes no sense for us to, if someone's punching, for us to hook their punch with our crane's hook or crane's beak, and then clench it, and then turn and try to strike them with crane's beak. Right? It just doesn't make sense because they have another fist, right? So if we lock up this hand and then we try to strike with this hand, they're also trying to strike us. So now in a real fight, you're gonna get hit. There's no way around it. There's no like special kung fu motion. You don't grow a third arm, or you don't gain some masterful matrix neo speed that keeps you from ever getting touched. It just doesn't happen. You're gonna get hit. So you want to put yourself in the best position to either block or dampen the blow. So when we do our crane inside block, usually we're blocking to the outside, or we're blocking to their back. So if he punches with this hand, I want to block with this hand because I want to turn this way. If he punches on this side with his right hand, I want to block with my left so I can go to his shoulder, his or her shoulder. So with that being said, I have to hook the punch, but not to hold it, just to guide it away from me. I don't care where it goes at, I just don't want it to touch me. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna hook the punch just so that I know where it is. And then I'm gonna move my body. So the punch is coming straight, I'm gonna hook and move my body and allow the punch to continue past me. But I have to keep that hook. Otherwise, if I just go here and let the arm go limp, that fist can come up and catch me in the jaw. So I do want my elbow up, right? That's why we keep the elbow up and not down and back. The elbow's up because the fist is under here. So if he tries to bring that fist out, then I have my arm here to kind of dampen the blow or keep it from coming up, right? So elbow, and here we're turning. It's not completely flat, right to the camera like this. It's here, boom. So you can block and strike. But you can see the obvious, you just step off of the line that they were punching. You don't have to be too deep. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Let's bow out.
Yes, sir.
The path of self-mastery requires a creative spirit. A creative spirit has no self-doubt. The path of self-mastery requires a creative spirit. A creative spirit has no self-doubt. The path of self-mastery requires a creative spirit. A creative spirit has no self-doubt.
Bow to Senior Head Instructor.
Bow to apprentice instructor and 8. Blast you out on the screen. And everyone at home. Master's Path will be right back. Black Sash training is dismissed.